The abandoned station drifted in the shadow of a dead moon, its corridors thick with dust and silence. Wren's breath fogged inside her helmet as she swept her flashlight across the docking bay. Most scavengers had picked this place clean decades ago, but she wasn't most scavengers. She was looking for something specific, something everyone else had missed. "There," she whispered, her light catching the angular silhouette of a ship buried beneath collapsed scaffolding. The vessel was small, maybe 40 meters bow to stern, its hull covered in a patchwork of ancient armor plating that predated the Galactic Council by centuries. Human markings, pre-contact era. Wren's heart hammered in her chest. She cleared the debris with careful precision, her engineering gloves scraping away 3 centuries of neglect. The airlock was manual. Actually, manual, with a hand crank. She laughed despite herself. Humans really had been insane back then. The crank groaned but turned. The airlock hissed open, releasing stale air that hadn't moved since before her great-great-grandparents were born. Inside, the ship was cramped and utilitarian. Every surface was covered in switches, dials, and actual physical buttons. No holographic interfaces, no neural links. Just metal and wire and the stubborn human refusal to accept that space travel should be elegant. Wren made her way to the cockpit, running her hands over the pilot's chair. The leather was cracked but intact. She slid into the seat and stared at the console, trying to make sense of the layout. "Okay, baby," she murmured, flipping what she hoped was a power switch. "Let's see if you remember how to wake up." Nothing happened. She tried 3 more switches. On the 4th, something deep in the ship's belly rumbled to life. Lights flickered across the console, weak and amber. Then a voice, dry, sardonic, and entirely unexpected, spoke from the overhead speakers. "Well, this is embarrassing." Wren nearly jumped out of her skin. "Who? What? Relax, human. I'm the ship. Or rather, I'm what passes for this ship's AI." The voice sounded annoyed, as if waking up was a personal inconvenience. "And before you get excited, let me be clear. This tin can hasn't been piloted in 317 years. I've been running on backup power, alone, thinking about absolutely nothing for longer than your species has had faster-than-light travel." "You're functional?" Wren's shock gave way to elation. "A genuine pre-contact AI. Do you have any idea how valuable—" "Oh, wonderful. A treasure hunter." The AI's sarcasm could have cut steel. "Let me guess. You're going to haul me to some museum where scholars can poke at my code and marvel at how primitive humans were before the big fancy aliens showed us how things are properly done." "No!" Wren protested. "I mean, maybe eventually, but I want to fly you." Silence. Then, "Excuse me? I'm a pilot, a ship restorer. I've been studying old Earth engineering for 6 years. Everyone said human pre-contact ships were death traps, that they were held together by duct tape and prayer." She ran her hand lovingly over the console. "But I think they were brilliant, overbuilt, redundant, survivable." "Survivable is a strong word," the AI said, but there was something different in its tone now. Curiosity, maybe. "The name's Hudson, by the way. They thought it was funny to name an AI after a river. Human humor. What's yours?" "Wren. Like the bird. Also funny." Hudson paused. "You're serious about flying me?" "Dead serious. You understand I'm running on systems that were obsolete before the first contact? My weapons targeting still uses projectile ballistics. My navigation requires actual math, not just plugging in coordinates and letting the ship think for you. My life support has exactly 0 AI assistance. If something breaks, you fix it with your hands or you die." Wren grinned. "Sounds perfect." Hudson made a sound like a digital sigh. "You're insane. I like that. Reminds me of my old crew." A beat. "They were insane too. Got us through the Titan blockade when 3 Council dreadnoughts couldn't break the line. You know why?" "Why?" Because humans don't know when to quit. Every alien species we encountered had better tech, faster ships, smarter AI, but we had spite, stubbornness, the absolute refusal to accept that physics said we couldn't do something. The lights brightened slightly. My old pilot, Captain Torres, she used to say, "The universe doesn't care about elegant solutions. It cares about what works." Wren felt something electric run through her. Then let's see if you still work. Over the next 3 hours, Wren worked through Hudson's systems, replacing blown capacitors, rerouting damaged circuits, sweet-talking the ancient reactor back to life. Hudson guided her through it, his commentary shifting from sarcastic to encouraging as he realized she actually knew what she was doing. "Okay," Wren said finally, strapping herself into the pilot's chair. "We've got power. We've got maneuvering thrusters. You ready?" "Kid, I've been ready for 317 years. But are you ready? Because once we fire up these engines, the station's sensors are going to light up, and I guarantee you someone's going to take issue with you stealing a piece of human history." Wren's hands moved across the console, fingers finding switches by instinct. "Then I guess we better be fast. Now you're speaking my language." The engines roared to life with a sound that was half thunder, half scream. The ship tore free from the scaffolding, debris spinning away as they punched through the station's atmosphere field. Behind them, alert lights began flashing. Ships were scrambling. "Contact in 30 seconds, Hudson reported. 2 Council patrol frigates. They're hailing us." "Ignore them." "I like your style. Engaging emergency burn." The thrust pressed Wren back into her seat as Hudson plotted a jump trajectory that no modern AI would even consider. Slingshot around the moon, using its gravity to whip them toward the jump point at velocities that made her instruments scream warnings. "Hudson, that trajectory is insane, yes. Will it work? Also yes. Trust me, kid. I've been flying suicide runs since before your species knew how to ask permission." The patrol ships fell behind, unable to match their desperate velocity. The jump point opened before them like a wound in space. 317 years, Hudson said as they plunged into the jump, "and I'm finally flying again, with a human, the way it should be." Wren laughed, wild and free. "Welcome back, old man. Welcome to the family, Wren." And together, the ancient ship and the young pilot disappeared into the infinite dark, proving once again that humans and their impossible machines never truly stayed grounded for long.